This week on Bootleg YouTube, new lighting. If you want to call this lighting. I'm doing things. Sometimes they're my best. Sometimes they're the best I have right now. Hello to the internet, my name's Craig Montgomery and we're here today to talk about the things that make you say, who even am I? And we are in the middle of a series on mindfulness. I'd say maybe more towards the end of a series on mindfulness. And today we're going to talk about something that's pretty important in the concept of mindfulness that I haven't discussed yet because it needs its own little discussion. And that is going to be sensory awareness. So a big focus in mindfulness in the meditations that you do to practice mindfulness is going to be on awareness of your physical senses, focusing mostly on the main five, which would be sight, taste, smell, touch, and hearing. Fun fact, humans have way more senses than that. I've seen some people claiming up to closer to 21 senses. The scientific community kind of hasn't come out with a consensus, aside from saying that they do believe as a whole that we have more than 5 senses. And if you think about the concept of pain and temperature, those don't really fall into touch necessarily. When you're thinking about texture and pressure, that makes more sense with touch, but pain and temperature would be more of a different type of sensory data because you can actually feel something's texture and lose your ability to feel if it's hot or cold. So that type of thing. Kind of a neat little unnecessary detail for you. So why do we want to focus on the physical senses while we're meditating? Isn't this like a mental exercise? You say. I'm sorry for putting words in your mouth. Well, this is actually for 2 reasons. The first being creating a stronger mind-body connection. When you activate certain parts of your brain, the synapses, which are like tiny little cords that interconnect with each other to transmit data from one point to another. Ooh. Sorry about the angle change. For those of you who are not computer savvy, you can think of like a hose and your brain thoughts are like the water being moved from one place to another. And that kind of works, I guess. So when the synapses are firing off because you're using that section of your brain, that neural pathway gets stronger. Think of it like a friend being invited to your party, and then the next time that you throw a party, you invite them and they're so excited because they had a good time last time, so they show up early to help you set up for the party. I'm really bad at brain analogies. I should stop. With those neural pathways being strengthened and recently activated, it's much easier for data to flow down those pathways at a later point in time, which means that it's a little bit easier to read and understand the sensory data that you're having in your daily life, which is cool. You've heard the old adage, use it or lose it, right? That's the concept here. And the second reason is that really zoning in on sensory data is an effective tool to get your mind into a meditative state. Focusing on how the floor feels underneath your legs, or what the air smells like around you, or how the light is dancing on the wall across from you, down to the smallest details, pulls you outside of your mental state that you're in and all of the things that you're thinking about and have to do into a very now moment. You are experiencing something that is happening right in front of you right now. Even feeling the insides of your mouth with your tongue, which sounds a little weird, but understanding the textures and the densities of the different surfaces in your mouth can be a lot of details to go over and focus on. So, there you go. For another example, something that my brother showed me that has been a practice that I find very useful is to take your hand with another hand. You've got to, I hope. I'm so sorry if you don't. So you take one hand and you rub along one finger in a very suggestive motion, and you feel the kind of buzzing sensation that's going on there, and you really focus in on what that feels like on your hand. Even to the point where you can sort of travel your consciousness down to that if you really want to get weird with it. And you try and focus your entire existence on just feeling that buzz in your hand. And that can kind of get your thoughts away from your mental processes and really into feeling the physicality of your body. Once you're in that place where you sort of are feeling your body more, you can start focusing in on different senses and start rotating around the different things you want to pay attention to. Maybe you don't want to smell the room, you just want to see the light, and you want to feel the floor, and you want to listen to your breath. And once you're in a place where you are very physically aware of your body, the goal is to try and keep yourself acutely aware of all of your senses, rolling through different things to focus on, just to keep yourself in that state of paying attention to your body, paying attention to now, really focusing in on what's happening in your current environment and the place that you are existing in, with all of the little pieces of input that you can, and throwing aside any thoughts of the past and the future or shoulds that would exist in the now. I really enjoy this practice simply because it pulls me out of my head. It forces me to stop thinking about things. I tend to live my life pretty cerebrally. Who's surprised? So practicing physical awareness really helps me bring me into the moment, and that actually has translated really well into my daily life of being able to be more present. It's also a very effective practice if I'm feeling specifically stressed or anxious, to stop me from overworking something in my mind and really focusing in on what am I experiencing right now. Stops the snowball effect. This practice is especially useful for me when I'm feeling anxious or stressed over a situation that I'm anticipating that I have no control over, aka everything. These are also similar concepts to what I've witnessed in a lot of yoga teachings, connecting with your breath, reaching that into your body. I really enjoy the concept of combining these practices with movement, so yoga has been a very fun thing for me to explore. Your mileage may vary, but overall, being present is an extremely important ability to have. We only get to live our life one time, and I'm not sure about you, but I want to make sure that I am getting as much as I can out of every moment that I'm given, instead of wishing and dreaming and hoping for things to be different, which I have done a lot of. I have found a lot more happiness and satisfaction in creating the most out of what I currently have and working towards things that I would like to have in the future. C'est la vie. So those are my thoughts and my limited knowledge on sensory awareness. That's all I'm gonna have for this week. Let me know if you've tried anything that I suggested in this series so far in the comments below. I'm really curious to see if you've found them to be helpful or if you think that they are not. I just would like to hear from you on that. Give the video a like if you like. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And as always, take care of yourself. Okay, bye.